Mario, my husband, asked me every single day for something, and I never gave it to him, not once. Until one day, I happened to walk past the back door, and everything changed. This story is one of the most intriguing ones I've ever told. Every detail shows just how calculated that action was for the benefit of my husband and our neighbor. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Queen Without Secrets, Real Stories of Infidelity. My name is Nubia, and I had a modest life. The truth is, whenever I needed something, Mario would always find a way, his very own Brazilian way, to make it happen. He was the manager at a party supply store, earning about 3 salaries, and together we had already paid off our apartment. I worked too, earning 2 salaries. I loved buying things, but I'd wait for the right moments, because sometimes I wanted to surprise him or help with the household expenses. As a couple, we shared love and kindness. But there was one thing I never did for him, something he asked for relentlessly during our 5 years of marriage. I always said, one day, but the truth is, I didn't even want to try. My friends encouraged me to grant him the back door, but I kept hesitating, afraid that once opened, it would never be the same. 365 days a year, the same question. So, love, when will I be able to use the back door? I dodged it every time. Calm down, we will. Just wait. I'm getting ready. It'll happen. But deep down, I didn't want it. Sometimes I'd feel guilty and think maybe I should try, just to please him. After all my friends had already allowed their husbands that request. I even met with them to talk about it and learn, but nothing ever clicked for me. The desire just wasn't there. Until one day, a new neighbor moved into the apartment below, a very talkative woman. Over time, I realized she had certain traits similar to my friends. Mario was never much of a talker and always an honorable man, loyal and attentive to me. But months later, as Mario and I were walking up the stairs, talking yet again about the door, I heard something unusual. From her apartment, a man's voice called out, "How long are you going to stand there with your ear to that door?" Right then, I understood. She liked eavesdropping whenever someone came through the gate and up the stairs. I brushed it off, figuring she'd eventually stop. But days later, I found Mario chatting with her casually on the stairs, as though they were old friends. I've never been the jealous type, and I trusted him completely. But something inside me stirred, connecting it to that same thing he had been asking for every day. I simply called him home. Later, he told me the neighbor was asking if we knew someone who could repair her door. It's been creaking badly. I thought maybe it just needs some oil, but really, a professional should handle it. I replied, okay, I'll give her someone's contact. He thought I believed his creaking door story. At that moment, I was certain that neighbor must have heard the countless times he tried to slip through my back door. Keep listening to hear what happened next. One ordinary Tuesday, I had to stay late at work. Mario, on the other hand, had earned himself a day off, rewarded by his boss, a close friend, for the excellence of his service. That evening, I arrived home well past my usual time, opened the gate, climbed the stairs quickly, and stepped inside my apartment. But where was Mario? Something in me, a sixth sense, urged me to go down to the neighbor's door and press my ear against it. I knew she stayed home all day. She didn't work. For about a minute, I stood there silently when I caught a faint moan from deep inside. I remained still for another 10 minutes, lucky no one passed by to witness such an absurd scene. Then, from the distance, another voice emerged, this time unmistakable. It was Mario's. Frozen in place, I listened to him asking the neighbor if he could come through her back door. She replied that yes, he could, as many times as he wished, that it was her custom, and it made her happy to let him use it. Instead of barging in, I chose to pause, to reflect on how much I could have offered him, and how this moment didn't have to exist. I had postponed the inevitable for too long, until he found an open door and took exactly what he wanted. My mind drifted to my therapy sessions, the advice to take a deep breath, to understand the moment, to face the consequences of our choices. Why had I made promises to him that I never kept? I went back upstairs and stayed home. About 30 minutes later, Mario walked in, as casually as if he'd just gone out to buy bread, his face serene, certain of himself. I kept my composure and invited him to talk. Mario, I know what you did, and I'm not going to blame you entirely, because I carry my share of fault too. I've made mistakes in the past, but since you've chosen another door, let's take this chance for each of us to follow our own path. He had no reply, but his silence told me he understood. Today, Mario lives with that neighbor, fulfilling the dream he always wanted. I've moved on too, embracing new adventures and meeting someone else. This time, I opened my back door and discovered how good it truly was. But sometimes, memories return, and with them, the desire to go back, to change what happened, to keep us together. It's too late now. Mario is happy with someone who gave him what I never did. So I'll ask you, in this story, who was at fault, Nubia or Mario? This was another tale of infidelity. Hugs from the Queen without secrets.